Alright guys, I am so sorry. We are giving it another try. It is my old PC playing with me for sure. I mean, it's just sometimes it's just unbearable trying to get back into the game, but nevertheless, we should have a at least. Huh. Let's have a look real quick, guys. We should have a live feed on the chat as well. So I am going to type in welcome to see that it works. And there we go, it does work. Alright, so hopefully we are back on the horse of Star Citizen. The struggle, the ever so often day struggle of getting a nice stream going. I did have a hard crash earlier, so oh well. It is what it is, I suppose. So what I was going to do was going to show you guys that I did buy back the Ares Starfighter Inferno and the C2 Crusader C2 Hercules Starlifter, because I figured that over time, especially, like I realized that I just don't want those huge ships. I mean, it's cool to own them, but it's just so cumbersome, It's like, especially with how things are going to turn out in terms of, how things are going to turn out in terms of having to have a crew and all that. It just kind of lets me think that it's just too much hustle, Is it even worth it? I don't know, it might be, but then again, I'm just going to leave this one though as it is. I am, however, going to put in a power plant for a fighter and an XL1, why not, since we can. We have plenty of these laying around, so we're going to buy one of those, or two of those actually. And apart from that, I think we are good to go on the Inferno. Now, some would argue that having the other one, what's it called now, Iron, would have you have to, well, no issues with rearming at least, because you can stay out for longer. But I mean, I don't mind. You're gonna sustain some damages over time. Plus, whenever you do go back for repairs, at least you can try to get yourself some checkpoints over here and there. Like now and then even. Just in case something happens, you don't want to stack things up too much in terms of whatever you're doing, really. But enough said of that. We are not going to be doing any fighting today, at least as far as I know of. However, as good habits, always go into your contact manager and have a look at your mercenary tab or mercenary section and put a call to arms on. Whatever you kill, NPC or a player alike, having a crime stat will give you cash, so that way you always get some money along the way should you have to shoot someone or defend yourself. Don't forget to untrack it as well. You don't want to have it sort of... oh, we got a hospital gown there. Don't let it overshadow or whatever, like, overcast, whatever you're doing. You're also going to see me talking in the top left corner, because that's me being on my own server on Discord. Just in case someone does show up, at least you'll be able to tell us apart from who's been highlighted on top left there. So there's that. Now this is my pretty much my stock. I mean, stocks. Well, it is stock. Like I am not gonna really be wearing too much stuff here because I'm just gonna do some trading. So I always either try to log out butt naked or I log out with something very basic. That way I don't lose anything. I'm gonna put these on though because I kind of like to wear at least. But we're gonna continue and make sure that we have the armor first, and then I'm gonna show you how I usually set my gear up for a trading run. And it's just for, for any reason really. Like, I usually go with this one because I like it. It has some good compartment. You can probably wear up to light and medium armor. So there's that. Nothing wrong with being extra prepared, I suppose. And I mean, it doesn't matter which one we pick. We just need a backpack, just in case, you know, so that we can store away our helmet. Until at least we get to have the ability to clip it on some sort of a attachment on our hip or something for stowaway. But it is what it is, right? And that's it. We don't need any armor because we're not going to do any fighting. We just need a little bit of extra storage now here and there. And that's it. So we are going to bring 2 extra of these. Not just for us, but also for people who come. Okay, we look like we're going to have to restart the inventory. It's sometimes a bit buggy. Put these on while we have them in front of us. While we remember. Med gun, tractor beam, which is what it is now. I'm going to put one of these more. There we go. 2 extra mining bits, you never know. If not, someone else might need it that I come across. Please let me transfer. There we go. It is so annoying with the inventory thing right now because it's just not working ideally. Although I have been told that it's probably just a placeholder for what's coming in terms of how it's gonna work. We're not gonna entirely have these drag and drop menu systems anymore. So it's gonna be more like a where you have it physicalized, the inventory of everything, and that's how it's gonna work. All right, so like I said, we're not gonna do any serious fighting, but you never know, right? So never hurts to have a pistol. Although we're not gonna be using any of my concierge stuff. That's just kind of stupid now that we can't get it back unless we do a character reset, which I just, by the way, recently did due to some other issues. Come on, please work. I'm trying to double click it, but it doesn't seem to work, so we're gonna have to restart the inventory again. Hopefully it works this time. And it is actually case sensitive as well, guys, so it can actually depend on where you are in the verse. Whether you're in a shop or... Come on. Do I have to? No. Come on. Inventory stuff. This is hopeless sometimes. Keeps on reloading. You got a long list like I do. Having to do this every single time. Does that one work? Was it actually bound to the pistol? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We are getting our will through anyways. We are stubborn. Alright, let's see. We are gonna go with an extra flashlight since we're not gonna do serious combat. So that way, apart from my light from the helmet, the pistol will provide with me a directional light as well. And that's about it. We don't need any suppressor or anything like that. We just need a little bit of that. And then hopefully I did buy a couple of magazines here. You know, just equip maybe 2-3 of those just in case, you know, and then I have extra room for whatever I might find along the way. Alright, so we are almost done. Well, we are done. Gonna be heading down the train, repacking some of my of the substances like water, drink, food, what have you. Might as well do that while we wait for the train that we just missed. And like I say to a lot of people, what other game are you playing where you actually get to deal with the stress of missing or catching a train? I mean, I can't come up with any, no. And people often forget the vast amount of playability we actually do have for a game being in such an early alpha stage. It is almost perceived in a way sometimes as a fully fleshed out game, you know, in terms of the first impressions, as far as graphic wise and certain features and what we already have. But we so often forget that that it is actually it's actually a live alpha, very early alpha. It's not even a beta, and usually when you get early access to well, games on Steam, I mean, yeah, you get early alphas now and then, but they're not nearly as, fleshed out as this one is. So we often forget that, and I mean, a lot of people complain left and right, like this or that doesn't work, or it's just bullshit, or what have you. But I mean, you should know what you sign up for, right? And it is what it is, and it's just gonna get better. It can only get better, really. And give them a slack, guys. It's gonna be all right in the end. Let's just enjoy the game for what it is, and especially doing nice stuff with friends, and it's really a nice community in this game, and lots of people helping out, and it's just usually just love and passion for the game. We're all trying to help out, and of course there's always going to be those moments where there are douchebags around, obviously, and unfortunately those are the ones that makes the most marks. Oh no, we have a Corsair up there? I think that's a Corsair. And well, there's that, there's always going to be like that in any type of multiplayer game, it's always going to be like that. But I'm thinking that it's probably going to be very much like an MMO, so it's not going to have a pure element of PvP or PvE. It's definitely going to be a mix of both, and sometimes it's going to be highlighted either way. Are we in the right way? Yeah, well. Where CIG actually verbally stated that they want to have things like Jumptown, Siege of Wars, and that kind of stuff, to emphasize certain element of PvP or PvE. But I mean, that's just how they're gonna, enhance those experiences within a mixed verse of MMO gameplay. And people often forget that there's no one simple answer to anything, really, and sometimes that usually tends to be a pretty wild conversation over a global chat, and it's unfortunate that certain individuals want to create that kind of vibe. It's like very toxic in a way, but it's not very often. I must say, for the most part, people are just here trying to help each other, being nice and polite. It's just a very nice community. And that's the thing as well. I mean, it's due to have some sort of a tutorial coming up for a 3.18 patch, I think. But you know me. I mean, how many people do actually play tutorials unless you're told to? Like, usually you don't, or you just want to throw yourself into whatever. But let me tell you though, you definitely want to do the tutorials here. If you have the opportunity and the luxury to do it. Because right now, all we can do is rely on each other to help out and explain things, how things work and all that stuff. So just ask away in global chat and hope that it's not flooded by any language other than English, because that's also a little bit of a disrespectful to people in general, not giving space for those who actually need to use the chat. It's so easy to make a chat of your own, so that you can invite people for a specific language or what have you. You don't even have to be in a party either, I don't think. I am actually about to show you guys how to do it. You hit F11 for a social. Oh, there it is, actually. It's still there. I created a channel called Swedish Only, so as you can see, we actually have people in here, which would be my buddy Northman that I usually stream with, and that's how that worked. Swedish Only is a fact, and whenever you can always invite anyone to that channel. I think so. If you were to invite to channel, you get to pick which one channel you want to send it to. And I'm not the leader of that channel anymore, but that's how it works. It is that easy, guys. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to use the F11 to talk to each other separately, but at least you separate your chat from the general global chat, and not like you don't necessarily overflood it with languages most people don't speak. And that's just purely for respect, because I mean, you want to treat people the way you want to be treated yourself. So be respectful. It doesn't matter if you're just being polite and talking nice stuff about whatever on your own in your own language, but it's not very respectful to others to do so. But why I actually usually hang around on American servers or Australian servers, because for the most part people there are at least speaking English. And hey, I mean, I'm Swedish. I run into Swedish people now that I'm trying to speak Swedish to me, but I try to keep it to the minimum, out of respect, because I know how it feels like being excluded. So there's that. It's all about respect. Alright, let's just bring out our newly rebought C2 Hercules. We're going to be doing my typical trading route, and we are being at New Babbage at Microtech. What hangar was it in? I just keep on mumbling here without checking. 15. 15 it is. There we go. But I mean, it's been a while. Nice to be back on the horse. We're not obviously going to be able to buy a full load of cargo yet. Maybe after 1 or 2 runs. Maybe. Depends on how things goes. 30Ks, client crashes, what have you. But it can't be that bad, really. But like it is, sometimes it is just what it is, because like I mentioned, and I'm not going to mumble too much about it, but yeah, I do run it on a 10-year-old PC almost. Like in 2-3 years ahead, it's going to be like 10 years old, and that means everything on it. I haven't really spent a dime on the computer since I bought it, because I did buy it back in the day for well over $8,000, and that's pretty much what the best money could buy, and not just one time. I like the graphics card. I actually bought 3 graphics cards, like $1,200 each alone, and SSD drives and hard drives and left and right. I have probably some 14 terabytes of storage still in this PC, and so it's really built to be lasting. At least that's what I thought, and it did. I mean, come on, like 10 years old. How many can say that they keep the PCs for 10 years and still be able to stream and, somewhat be productive with it? I mean, I say it was a fairly okay-ish way to do it, but now next time it's probably going to be more like you buy a good something that can be upgraded easily, more so, because now if I need to upgrade something, it's going to be everything. Like I need a new motherboard. I need maybe not the power supply, because that's a 1200-watt one, but pretty much everything else, like except for the hard drive, but everything else, RAM, CPU, graphics card, everything needs to be updated for sure. Alright, so we're going to be heading over to our first stop, which is going to be at Yella. Usually I know that people say that you can't, even if you can't fill up a C2, you can't sell it all at once in one location usually, because everyone trades with it, right? So let's see, do I actually have a shield building up? Do I? I better have shields, right? I mean, it's gonna be rough otherwise. Oh yeah, they're building up. It's just slow. Really slow. Alright. Landing gear up. And we are on our way. Better not collide with anything, because our shields are still building up. And full blast. And I hope my voice is loud and clear over the volumes in game. I'm actually gonna lower them a little bit in game, because I mean, you guys gonna hear it anyways. And let's do it like that. Alright. Certain sounds are so loud it just drowns my voice, and other voices are like when I have Teams or Discord on, like I don't use TeamSpeak anymore. Alright, so we are heading up to about 11,000 before we can jump. or quantum travel. It's not really a jump. Do you have the TS2 drive on this thing? I hope I do, actually. I hope it saved it. I actually did it. Come to think of it, I think I did. We'll find her. We'll find her. The TS2, you can go across the verse multiple times before you have to refuel, and you do it easily. You know, like it's like almost going around the corner in your own backyard. Now, obviously, having power coming up, that's going to be like 4 times bigger, but you're still going to talk about, you know, minutes rather than, well, an hour, what have you. You know, it's going to be bearable at least, needless to say. Yeah, it's definitely a TS2 drive. And we are on our way. We are here on our way to Deacon's Research Outpost on Yellow to buy us some medical supplies, whatever we can get a hold on. And that's the thing that I was talking about earlier, is that, yeah, people might argue that, yeah, you might be able to fill up a ship like a C2 or a Caterpillar with medical supplies, but you won't be able to sell it all in one place usually because everyone is trading it, right? Well, that's true, but you know, like if you don't have anything to tend to, like you have enough time to do it, you usually have several stops, not just for medical supplies. You usually go for titanium or agricium or laranite or aluminium or what have you. And along the way, you know, wherever you go, you just sell off a little bit, whatever they can take in terms of your medical supplies. And eventually, when you get back to your initial start, you're going to be on such a low level of medical supplies by then that they will most likely be able to buy whatever you have left, right? And in general, you get money back along the way. So we're going to have a look now, because we have 941,000 currently. And let's see what we're going to have when we come back to New Babbage, when we have sold everything off. We're going to do the typical trading route. We're actually going to be trading with, it depends on, but I think we're going to be doing the full route, because I'm going to sell off a little here and there along the way, so that way, even if I buy up everything, you know, like whatever I have, over time I will be exchanging that to whatever I sell for, you know, like I sell medical supplies wherever I want to go next, so that I can buy whatever they have to offer. So that's how it's going to be continuing on until we get back to our port. So that's how it goes. That's the name of the game. Other than that, we do have a different color for, well, a paint job for my C2, the Cerberus. Giving it a little bit more menacing look for sure. It's a little bit more worn out by the look of it. I'm also gonna, while I remember it, put it in a camera angle more favor to me when I need to land. So that way, I don't have to deal with that adjustment on the final. Now they still have issues with the main elevator, the one that also serves as an airlock. It tends to do a little bit of a glitch jumping. You always want to wait a second or two before you step on or off, or you're going to be teleported, or God knows what it's going to do to you. You might even end up inside of your landing gear, of the nose. And, well, it happened to me obviously a couple of times. The only way you can deal with it is to have someone to actually enter your ship and lift it up a little bit and rate the landing gear so that you actually pops back up inside of your cargo area. But it's still, I mean, there's no guarantee that's going to work, and you might not even survive it. And it's just, you know, just don't do it. Just avoid that, because it's just unnecessary, especially if you have a lot of money put into your cargo. You don't want to have to abandon the ship and your cargo. It's just a clusterfuck whenever that happens. And that's the thing as well, if you're okay with it, you know, like try to find people. If you're unfamiliar with whatever you're doing, and you know, if you're uncertain what's going to happen along the way, try to team up with somebody, just for the team up, you know, that way you can always join the server back on them, just to make sure that you at least come back to your ship wherever you left it if you crash your client or whatever happened. It's so much easier. You could even have them become your friend, even anything to team up with someone, just anyone really, and just so that you can come back to where you left off. And that's one way it actually does work. You can leave your ship on a base, or you can leave your ship in a orbital marker, or anywhere really. For the most part, you will come back, and if you don't, you'll be able to get back to your ship as you left it. For the most part. Now, obviously, there will be moments where your ship or your body or your gear will be gone, but at least that's one way of preventing that likelihood of to happen, sort of thing. As you can see, the TS2 is fairly quick. You get around the verse pretty fast, back and forth, and we are almost at Crusader, about to take our next leg over to Yellow, unless we have to do an orbital marker, which I don't think we have to. Let me have a look. No, it's straight right to Yellow, the next leg, and then from there we're going to be heading down to Deacon's Research Outpost, assuming that it's still in place where when I plotted the route. That's the thing. It's when it takes long enough, it actually changes position, so that you might have to actually replot on arrival on the first leg. It all depends on how fast you can get to your location, of course. As always, try to keep some speed or move out a little bit out of the way once you get to your leg arrival, because someone else might be doing the same leg, and they might end up in the ass of your ship, you know. Pretty much. So you just want to move it a little bit, you know. Just don't have to move by much, but just a little bit to prevent that. And then come on, there we go. And then never do any quantum travel with your cruise control activated, because you know, when you arrive to some place like a station, you're going to be slamming into the station should you not be attending the PC in time, should you be walking away or whatever. So always use a habit of not having your cruise control on for the most part, unless maybe you're heading up in orbit or something. Alright, we have a ship down there. That's fine. We're going to just plot the route again, that way we can see where it is without having to use it. That one. And now we can actually use the scanner. We don't want to target him, because that is rude to begin with. And we have rock out in a C2. So that way we don't target the person, right? Consider more friendly to do. Ah, come on, I can't type. Rock out. Alright, so, yeah, I mean, you can always state your intentions, of course, if you have time to do so. But that way, at least you know that, first of all, he pretty much sits in his ship, otherwise, I wouldn't have seen his name. So either he just arrived, or he's doing something else, but at C2, I take it he's gonna do the same thing we are. It's fine if if there's nothing really. I mean, if time is your thing, then you just keep on moving. Right? But I am going to try to initiate a conversation with the numpad plus to see if I get some response. You know, it's always nice to meet a fellow trader. Why not? Landing it down and VTOL activated. It does actually come with VTOL. And I will go full on. Why not? Why not? He's on the big pad, and we're going to be going for the small one. And I'll show you why. Because this ship might seem big to you, but it can actually land on the small one. Let's see if we can do it somewhat professional here. That'll be fine. It's close enough. He's gonna be fine. Alright. We'll be fine. We don't have to refuel it anyway, so. Now, obviously, I'm gonna be here for the loot anyways. And see if we can get something out of it. I mean, who knows, right? We may or we may not. But regardless, I'm going to check it out. And there's another way where you can get medical supplies, obviously. But if not, I'm just going to be going on. I just want to say hi to the guy anyways. To another fellow trader. Wait a second or so. Gravity is low, so you don't have to actually touch the ground. And let's have a look. Where are we at? See if we can find anything to drink here. I am pretty sure there's gonna be nothing. Well, there is actually. Alright. Oh, look at that. Max available stock. And you know, that is actually not too bad, because that way at least, should we lose something, we don't have to worry too much, right? That's probably for the better. I get what I can grab. I'm not too greedy in that way, because I got different routes to go. Come on, please work. Give me some water. Something. I do have water, but multi-tools, I'm gonna grab. Oh, these are nice. When the weather's bad, it's actually not too bad to wear one of those, because then you can. Oh, these are perfect. Exactly what I needed. All right, I'm pretty much good. I think. Yeah, I'm good. I am good. I'm just gonna grab these just in case, you know. And I am good. Double checking the console again on the way out. See if it's been refreshed. And it actually, no, it hasn't. Alright, I'm fine. We are continuing our way before someone lands or slams into my ship. Definitely don't want that now. It's not a whole lot of money in there, but it's money. 941,000 is what we had when we started. And he has taken off. He pretty much took most of it, I think. Either that or he just didn't wait long enough. So what you want to do is you stand about 5 o'clock behind the elevator here, by the corner here. So wherever it goes, teleporting, you should be good. If it does. Not always it does, but if it does. So Deacon's Research Outpost is usually my first stop. I get whatever I can get hold on. And then I continue on my way to sell off to wherever I go, right? So the next place I usually want to go for is actually really of a nice place. And I am going to be heading to Lyria. And then we're going to start drinking something as we go. Definitely getting thirsty here. Heading over to SMF Cell 2. You want to go up to the band because you have a marker and you don't have to boost too long. It doesn't take much altitude on this moon. Give it some time to settle in. Make sure you're actually lag free or loading free, what have you. And then you can get off the chair, whatever you need to do. And in my case, time to get some nutrition. Or at least, well, water-wise, anyway, or liquids. Alright, so let's see. Can we? We can. We should, right? See if we can drink it. Sometimes it's broken, not allowing you to drink or eat. The only way to stop that usually is to relog from the main menu. You don't necessarily have to restart the entire game, but at least relog it. Here we go. And let's see, I'm gonna, you know what, I am actually gonna put it back in, but in a different compartment. I'm gonna put it in a ship. Something anyways. Drag twice if it doesn't work the first time. Helmets are always gonna stay on in a ship where there's vacuum outside. Some ships tend to have no atmosphere in certain areas. And I will be right back. I will leave you guys with the ship. As we go, we have no cruise speed ongoing. So, be right back. Alright, looks like we are getting close now. And it would obviously be over at Arcorp. And... oh wow, okay. I'm getting a little bit of a spike here. I am actually gonna go about so, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna be there somewhere. Alright. I just fixed my volume a little bit. There we go. That's the thing though, over time, obviously when we have more people watching, and well, it's like 9:50 in the morning in Europe, the people are up, but it's a Friday, so people are either in school or at work. But I am definitely going to be streaming, as always, guys, at 4 p.m. UTC time. That would be 5 p.m. Paris or Stockholm time for the IAE. If everything goes well, I have some errands to do today with my wife, so worst case scenario, it might be delayed, but I hope I will make it in time, which I think I will. But should I not be, don't worry, it's still coming though. It just may be delayed in worst case scenario, but like anything can happen. I suppose I have like at least a 1 hour drive to do some errands later during the afternoon, so hopefully it all goes well. And that's the thing as well, I haven't really checked out yesterday's IAE because it was completely broken. Me and Northman was actually there to, as always, you know, be there when it opens or changes or whatever it's been displayed again, or, well, displayed, you know, whenever it has premiere. And, well, needless to say, I mean, either you guys seen it already, but you could see parts of ships showing up or popping up in mid-air as if, well, pretty much nothing was there except for the signs for the ships or the placards. But that's all there was. So, well, I mean, it was a little bit of a disappointment. It's always nice to see the ships regardless. But most of them, obviously, we've seen already, and the ones that are new were actually in a fairly presentable, you know, for what they are in the monitors down below in the cellar, or in the basement. So you could argue that okay, it kind of worked, but yeah. Alright, what is going on here, guys? Are we actually having someone tagging along? I'm gonna have a look and see who that is. Is that the same guy? Oh, it's a C2. That's the thing, guys. I mean, everyone is renting a C2 to make some bucks. The only difference is that mine is mine. You know, I have a color scheme in mine. Definitely not a rental. That's for sure. Why are people landing like noobs? Like at least land the right direction. I need to refuel anyway, so might as well do it from here. Time to rearm and refuel. That guy better know how to fly that thing. Don't want to have our ship being rammed or destroyed. Well, I mean, anything can happen, and it most likely will in Star Citizen, so that's pretty much the name of the game, and we have been pretty bad luck in terms of, or having had pretty bad luck in terms of trading routes. But, you know, like it's, we only have one system today. And there's that, you know, like it's just too small for the vast amount of crowds. Even on a single server, just too many people sharing the same resources. And given that we share the same resources globally across the servers, and now we even have Asian servers, like it's just even more players now that we share it with. For just one system, that's just trading is really not what it used to be, and it really is not what it's supposed to be in a long while, until at least we get Pyro, a couple of other systems, server meshing, what have you. Only then we get to actually see what trading does. Oh yeah, you could tell he was blasting his engines. Oh, what a noob. I have probably nothing left here now. He took everything from me. Damn it. Oh well. We can what we can grab, right? I don't know. Oh, look at that. There's a little bit of it, but now, like I told you, we are gonna be selling a little bit of our cargo, just to even things out, and that way our insurance is actually that. Now, what I'm gonna buy now, assuming that I don't buy it all up, a little bit of titanium, and the stupid reflection is definitely annoying. I don't know what CG was thinking there with max available stocks, and that's good. I can live with that. We're gonna keep on going. Yeah, let's just get that. The guy's been everywhere. It's like we're definitely timing it wrong, because everyone is renting one. So everyone's going to be doing trading. Everyone's going to be doing what I do. And this I do every day, usually. That's how I usually meet people as well. Like, this is how things turn out when I meet them. And I should have brought my my used up bottle that I kept in my ship. I'm gonna bring me some pants just in case, like people might actually need them. Especially at the convention. Well, I was gonna head it back to our ship. It's a long way to walk. But that guy's pretty much landed the wrong way. You can actually fit 2 C2s on there. But then again, you won't be able to refuel them both at the same time on the same pad. But nevertheless, you can always fit two of them on that big one. As you can see, the way how I landed, it's actually sideways, so that way you can always fit on even the medium or small pad too. Well, I consider this one a small one, because the other one, it's just not for this ship anyway. Alright. See if I can remember to bring the trash out next time. Now, there's a second place, and that's going to be cell number 5, I think it was. And that has more titanium. But that's it. It doesn't have agricium. Agricium you can find on a different place, but that's just not really on our bucket list for this tour. So we're going to be continuing down to see what we can grab, in terms of Laranite, might as well. Either Bestek or something, or Lathan. Alright, so let's have a look here. I should have brought the... Oh yeah, look, I can in a way do that now. I could. But I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to put this one here. That's an empty bottle. That's better than dragging it with me everywhere. Alright, continuing on to the next one. We are refueled, repaired, and what have you. Next one will be going over to Hurston, and we are going to Ariel. Either Bastic or Lathan or Latin. We are going for Lathan because I want some sunlight. Or daytime at least. I always try to pick a side that has that is facing the sun or the Stanton star. To at least provide you guys with a little bit more of sunlight instead of this darkness. It is turning out much darker on the stream. So I try to spare you guys from that. But I mean, I just like flying the ship or doing this for a casual thing, you know, like it's, I've been missing it. What am I waiting for? There we go. Yeah, apart from that, guys, just mind you that, well, you see me speaking there to the top left corner. I don't know if I mentioned it, this one, but that's because I'm also on my official Swedish Raven 75 Discord server, on a channel where I can bring in fellow members on my community, either whether they're going to be in-game or in-game, you know, like it doesn't matter. Sometimes I just like to have people talking to while I stream, just to get some nice feedback, and they get to say their things as well. It makes communications easier over the stream with the ones that I know, and that's the way I play it, you know. Everyone you hear sometimes is not going to be in-game. But that's why I have the names popping in and out on the top left corner, so that at least you guys can see who's actually doing the talking. So, we are heading towards Hurston and, what was it, Ariel and Lathan? I think, I'm going to call it Lathan. HDMS Lathan. And the HDMS stands for, of course, Hurston Dynamics. And S? I don't know. Station? Could that be it? Yeah, probably. I mean, what else is there? So in a way, you can tell what the facilities are by the three letters and then the number, of course. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have our fellow traders over here for sure. This is a pretty popular place for smaller ships to, you know, deal with Laranite, and Laranite is definitely not in an abundant. So what usually happens if I am to continue this route over and over, I would just not land at New Babbage. I still call for ATC though, just to have something if we have a 30k or if the client crash, at least my ship will be back there. But in those cases, I'll just do that, and then I just land by the outpost at the Commons in New Babbage. That way, sparing saving myself from having to ride on those transits to get over there, deal with ATC and all that. Saves me a lot of time, much quicker. Obviously, your ship is being exposed on the surface by the surface entrance from noobs slamming into it, that kind of stuff. And not just noobs, you know, some of my friends actually managed to slam into the ground right next to me. Needless to say, it can happen. And nice with daytime for change. We buy what we can here, and then alright, so tip is, of course, if you don't speed up, you know, on arrival or wherever you're heading, like Mark is in between the legs, just make sure you jump fast enough, because people might actually end up exactly where you are, and then they're just gonna smash right into you. Always keep it on the move, whether you're actually jumping fast enough or at least moving. Now, obviously, me having full blast here, not going to be very fuel efficient, I think this one actually comes with a fuel scoop of some kind. Or it's supposed to have a very large fuel tank anyways for hydrogen fuel. But I think it kind of... I mean, if you compare to other ships this size or bigger even, those ships are actually less fuel efficient. Gear down, under 10,000, I always put gear down and go into VTOL. And this time it looks like we are alone. Wow, knock on wood, we are alone. For now. I might as well grab what we came here for in a fairly quick manner. But that's on this server. I mean, someone else on a different server might actually have already been here. And there's always that, you know, so. And we are going for whatever pad is the closest. And that's going to be that pad. Don't want to snag the lights, but we can actually land, like I said, on this side. That way we can get much closer. We don't need more than that. You know, engines are off. And might as well get some support and repair and all that stuff while we are heading our way to buy whatever they have and sell whatever we have, right? We're going to sell our medical supplies to have a few of those when we come back, so that way we can sell it all once we get back. That's the whole purpose of going to different locations, even if we don't have to, just to minimize the amount of cargo we come back with, especially for the medical supply part. That otherwise is so limited because you oversaturate the market. Like it's just a thing, especially now with everyone trading it. But that's the thing, like the first thing I will do after the server reset, I will actually, because I always start with 700,000 AUC after, okay, we tripped on the nose, I knew there was something, and we probably, yeah, that's fine, as long as we can get back, and we can't, one way or another, it's low gravity, so we're fine. That gotta look funny though. We did turn off the engines, luckily. And that you should always do by hitting I. So that at least your ship doesn't float away by itself. And it always comes back down to the ground somehow, but unless you have a bug going on like that one. First off, we're going to sell off whatever medical supplies we have. And can sell. Not everything, but at least quite a nice amount. 17,000 left of medical supplies on board of a ship. And let's just buy some laranite. Whatever we can get a hold on. 32 units. Better than nothing. And then we'll buy more titanium. Destination full. And to cut things fairly short, you know, like, not gonna be over long here. Doing a little bit of looting as always, you never know. This one I'm gonna keep here, so I'm gonna just throw away some water and multi-tools, attachments, that kind of stuff like vital stuff, you know, like survival stuff. Everything else I don't care about too much. And that's that. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to just check one thing real quick here. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. I almost got worried there because my old PC can sometimes heat up components in very bad ways that, I mean, yesterday when I had issues, my graphics card went up to like 98 degrees Celsius in the middle of the game, and for no reason. Because the fan didn't spool up. And I have no idea why it did that, but you can imagine that's pretty scary because, I mean, that's pretty much You're gonna burn things up that way. And so definitely in need of a new graphics card for sure. You know, everything is in need of something new. If we can actually, can we get, come on, come on. No, don't you dare do that to me now. This stupid ship, come on. Oh man. Yeah, that thing is, yeah, it's not gonna go anywhere. Alright, so the trick here is to open the ramp, either way, to, well, obviously, be able to get back in. But the whole configuration of the landing gear is just way off, in my opinion. But that's the thing as well, it's gonna change, you know, with physics, weight, like cargo and whatever you load into your ship, it's gonna matter. Whereas now it's just some scripted, I don't know, like weird thing going on that just doesn't make any sense at times. But hey, I mean, it is Star Citizen, you know, and it is early alpha, and you could almost argue that it could be Bug Citizen, maybe. But then again, you know, without bugs there are no progress, so, and without progress there would be no bugs, of course, but we want progress before the, like, before anything else, right? So bugs are going to be a thing. And we are taking off. We are fully loaded. We had 941,000 when we started. Just need a little bit of boost so that we can get off on our way. Keep on moving. You don't want to stay in one location should someone slam into you. This is always a bit sketchy going through these, but it's all fine. It seems that we are not physicalized as we start to jump or quantum travel. And we are good. Let's see where we're at. We're at 340,000. Most of our cargo is titanium, a little bit of laranite, a little bit of agricium, and a little bit of medical supplies as well. But all in all, we should be good. And that's a trick I'll show you. Because when we get back to your Babbage, right, yeah, you could run into the issue that it might actually be completely oversaturated at the normal trading center. But all you need to do is go over to the Shubin or admin's office. They always gladly take something, you know, like you can go back in between those two and sell now and then till it's all sold off. And that's that. There are always workarounds, my friends. Let's have a look at ourselves. And we are looking good. Yes, we are. Our alter ego, or ego, the female one. Blue-eyed and blonde Swedish girl. Let's have a look what's going on in the chat. That's funny. Sometimes the chat is just good reasons enough to just hang around and enjoy it, you know, like it's Alright, let's see. It's all looking good. So nice to be back in the ship. definitely gives me the vibe of being on a big commercial flight, or like in the cockpit of one. Cockpit of one. There we go. Tongue twisting the heck out of it. It is still morning, guys. You have to bear with me, and obviously English is not my native language. Swedish obviously is. And I do talk a little bit too fast now and then because of overexcitement. But hey, that's the name of the game. And we are about to arrive. Should have a sound alerting us. Hit about 3 million. Or is it 5? I think it's around 3 million. Yep, 3 million. So, you doing anything on board the ship other than flying it? That's the signal of you about to arrive. So by the time you hear it, you're almost gonna know that you're about 3 million away. Picking up some speed, you always want to go inverted. Should something go wrong in terms of bugs, you usually dive downwards, your ship relative downwards. So at least have space underneath you. And you're usually good to go. But you always want to swing in a positive G rather than a negative one as well, swinging around a planet, obviously. That's the thing though, there could be artificial gravity, but you're always going to have to deal with induced G's, you know, like that's just always going to be a thing. No matter how sci-fi you are, it's just always going to be there. Unless you are outside of the physical realm in a warp bubble maybe. But that's a whole different story to talk about, so how that works, that is. See though, why do we have this spaceport? Remove these markers. If you can't find the spaceport, usually if you have a look over down there, you see the Spy Ground, that's a big white building there. You just head down to that one. And from the look of it, what I'm looking for is those 4 domes. You see where the pilot landed? You see the transit tracks over there, form like a V before you enter the commons. That's the one you want to follow to get to the spaceport. And there it is, slowly starting to show behind the clouds. Really nice looking clouds over here. Can get a little bit of lag, especially now during events, especially this year when the IAE is being held here at New Babbage. You gotta be careful for inexperienced pilots flying everywhere. They also usually tend to be fairly curious about ships flying around. Might want to fly close to your ship and what have you. Especially coming in with cargo, you don't want to have to deal too much with a crash, so that's the thing as well. If you have an assigned landing pad and get rammed on the way down, it's automatically considered a crime ramming you. But if you haven't, then you have to file in the crime yourself. That's how that works. There we go. We have one assigned, so pretty much almost anything can happen now. K and N for VTOL and landing gear. I just use it. Not that it matters too much today, but at least I don't forget to do it. and then I am already used to it by the time we're going to have some drag and aerodynamics effects to it, and weight of course, and that's going to come to play. We slowing down with the help of air braking. Obviously, if you're going to be fuel efficient about it, you can always go decoupled as you descend, just letting gravity take care of things. Here you got to be about 3,000 away to see the pads, so don't worry, don't get panicked. You will always, for the most part, at least, find your... Oh, there you go. I mean, why? Why? Dude, just stay away from my ship. I am carrying a lot of cargo. Usually some innocent people.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Alright, that was actually too dangerous. Very dangerous because, well, I mean, he would have gone criminal for doing it, but I'm gonna just tell him. If you ram, there we go. Probably a French guy, I don't know, it's probably wasted. Well, like I said, it's a free flyer week, so you're gonna have a bunch of players not really caring, I'd say. But it's sort of like very toxic in that way. So if you're gonna do some serious grinding, just be aware you're gonna have a ton of those kind of players around you. But there's that, so that's how things can go, right? At least I managed to land, but that was actually really close. I saw how close that was, and I'm gonna close that one. I don't have to engage into a conversation, pointless conversation with some random hormone junkie kid, like it's just not worth it. And you're gonna be like that. Most people are like, okay, like just they don't think about it. But there we go. Ship is fine.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
Located in the plaza, the factory line has all of Microtech's latest offerings.
Alright, ship is secured.
Be sure to explore all New Valley has to offer.
that's the thing. I mean, I've been playing the game pretty much since, well, very early 2014 to at least. Might even have some, like I might have played for it even early, like late 2013, maybe. But even so, I mean, it's been a while. I know what I'm doing, you know. I've been a concierge since 2014, mid 14. So, you know, I believe in the game. That's what it is. No, I'm not gonna go to Spire Grants. What am I doing? You want to read the signs for sure. Just remember that the first stop here is going to be the IAE. So don't walk out of here the first stop, unless you're going for the IAE, of course. But first of all, we're going to go and sell, and then we're going to have a look perhaps later when we're coming back to the IAE by the afternoon at 4 p.m. UTC time. Like I said, that's going to be like 1 hour ahead in Stockholm and Paris at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And they are going to be changing for the MISC. It's going to be on display today. Should be interesting. We will most likely see some sort of a progression on the MISC Odyssey. Maybe. But it's hard to say. I mean, no one knows really how far of the progression we have there. But like I said, in the hologram or the former hologram monitors nowadays, whatever is being presented there is being presented in the current state of development, or whatever state of development it was by the time they did that display, you know. So it's going to be shown in either white boxing or further down the road, you know, that kind of stuff, or it's actually going to be almost fleshed out. So it's a good indicator as to what state of development we are looking at. I think you can see here we are at are we? Hang on. What am I doing? I'm saying the wrong thing. It's not the first stop. This is the common. Why am I just mumbling? I'm being confused, guys. Like I said, it's still early morning. Well, not early morning, but I get up at 4 every morning, so driving my wife, so half the day is already gone by now. And I am definitely gonna need to take a moment of relaxation. You know? At least I've done my share of streaming this morning. I've done about an hour of streaming in Flight Simulator earlier. You can always have a look over there at my Point Leader 75 other YouTube channel. Sort of Point Leader 75. Where I do a lot of live streaming while flying. Talking about life stories and what have you. Alright, let's see. New bug. I don't think I have anything here now. But we do have quite a lot of nice stuff in our ship. I'm going to sell that. Not a huge amount of money. We couldn't get enough of it. But at least, yeah, you know, it's better than nothing. It's definitely a profit. That's for sure. Can we sell all this? I don't know. About 60,000 maybe in profit, give or take. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not too much. I would have preferred having it in medical supplies. It would be much more, but it is what it is, I suppose. And while we are here, guys, we are gonna buy a bunch of those here we go. Those smoothies to have around by the convention or the IE time. because there's a lot of running going on. You know, and you do get thirsty. Why you might want to have something less than a cumbersome, like something light to wear. Or perhaps even just your civilian clothes. Although, at some point we are going to be able to wear clothes and backpacks and holsters and what have you, even in civilian clothes. Not going to be tied to just having to wear an armor. And one day, but it's always like that, right? One day, that one day. Yeah, I'm gonna buy 2 more, and then I'm good. And we're gonna put everything in local instead, because we can't guarantee we're gonna get the exact same backpack, even. But these take care of both hunger and thirst, although you will have to drink a couple of them, as opposed to just eating 1 hot dog or 1 bottle of water. But at least you take care of both. And so we're gonna drag. Come on now. Give me something. There we go. Gonna drag everything in here because like I said, we can't guarantee we're gonna get exactly the same backpack. And we don't want to lose the stuff with the backpack. Should the backpack somehow disappear, I will show you guys. The same thing goes for the rest of what we carry here. So we're gonna grab everything over here and just, you know, drop it off. And then, let me show you. Then there is a trick to quick undress, and that is to actually just double click anything. So might as well just go for maybe, I don't know, maybe this one. There we go. Texture is a bit off. Yeah, it is a bit off. I'll go back, like so. And then, well, not to endorse nudity, but you know, why go to sleep with clothes on when you don't in real life? So I will just do that, and then I can log out. But regardless, guys, I am going to just take a seat somewhere here, and yeah, there we go. And I am going to be signing off. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like, and the notification bell unless you haven't already. And that way you will not miss out my cover of the IAE and other events coming up. And I will be talking to you guys in the next one. I'm signing off.